Now, another thing is, they find all these things in temples, right? That they think looks like a man with a spacesuit or a pilot wearing a mask, right? And a flight helmet, right? Right. I know. Now, our ancient ancestors, okay, and this is what I mean about an angel, right? Or alien angel, whatever you want to call it, right? Okay, they gotta assume human form to have sex with the daughters of men anyway, right? Now, once they do that, right, their body has to be made like Adam's, right? Before Eve was taken out of him, though, too, right? That's why there's such confusion, right, in these other lands about what they were. Now, if you're an angel, right, and you come here, right, like the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you have to have a human form. Now, you have to make your body as an avatar for you, right? You know what I mean, right? But you still have to make it like God made Jesus, Adam, in Satan's body, right? Now, because God made all three forms, right? They didn't make themselves. Now, Satan is the one striving against his maker and trying to drag us all down with him. So when the angels did this, right, they left their first estate, according to Jude, right, which is the celestial heaven in the fourth dimension, right, scientists, right. You only see 3D, right? And see, they know more than you as well because of Jesus and God, right? Technologically as well. But they're using the knowledge to confuse you too, right? That they know. They're trying to make you think they're from a star system, right? They're not. The star system's light takes at least, for the nearest star, 4 years, I guess, to even reach the Earth, right? Am I correct? Right. Well, if it takes 4 years to reach here, right? Right. That's also 4 years in the path for that star. Now, we're also seeing things called supernovas, right? What are those, scientists? So a star explodes. Right. And what happens afterwards? It usually becomes a black hole, right? Why is that? A black hole is a gravitational pull on everything around it, all the matter. And it draws it back into itself, right? It's also like Tartarus or, right. Again, if you go down into the earth with your spirit, and that's where Satan's kingdom is, right? And Jesus is his paradise above, right? It's also in a different dimension of the dead, right? Only the dead can see paradise just as only no man can see God and live, right? Because God's in you, right? If you remove that which is in you out of you, you're dead. And God made your body like a temple for it, or a tabernacle, or a house, even. And like I told you, your house being clean or dirty on a dust planet, you're ever cleaning but never cleaning your spirit, right? It don't matter, right, if some mail is on the floor. No. It don't matter if my clothes are in a pile on my chair. Why? Why? Don't you do that when you get home? Right? One of the things you do is change your clothing from your work clothes into your... Oh, but you put it in a hamper. Right? Or you put it on a chair too. But you are told to put it in the hamper so your wife can do the laundry for you while you're at work. Huh? I see, right. And that's her chore. Your job is to bring home the bacon. Uh-oh. Like she can't either, right. And again, right. Making her do all the housework, right. And you provide the income, right. And is there anything really wrong with that? Yes and no. Yes and no. Everything you're doing, though, is a job, right? Now, if you appreciate the woman, right, you're going to thank her for that, too. But if you don't appreciate her, and you expect it, you're just being a jackass then, right? Because, see, okay, you want me to clean the house while you're at work, but not to work myself. My job is to clean your house, huh? While you're at work. Well, I'm not home because I'm feeling good. No, right. I'm at home because I'm sore in 2 areas of the body that if you walk on for a long time would hurt, huh? Right? Yeah. Exactly, right. But you want to complain, right? Because you don't know what I do all day, I guess, though I try to tell you, right? And you won't listen to anything I have to say. And you deny I fell 3 stories, right? Why? Because you wouldn't survive it, right? Whether you would or not, I did. Exactly. Now, when an angel comes from heaven, they too are fallen 3 stories, scientists. And they too need a body to have sex with the daughter of men they want to have sex with, right? And if I'm right, they also have to be hermaphroditic, right? To make that body. But what they can't do or aren't doing is becoming 2, right? That would also explain why the hermaphroditic gene, as weird as it is in the gene pool, right? I know. And they say Noah also looked albino-ish, right? That's the scientific medical term for it, alien hunters, right? I know. But you won't use it. You act like it's literal. He's from outer space, huh? Right? Well, what that means is Noah's dad and his wife could both have a recessive trait, which is what albinoism is, right? And even if they're black, right, have an albino child, right? I know. Both parents can be black and have an albino child. It's called recessive genes. Look it up in science class. And botany, zoology, and biology, right? It exists with animals as well. Now, when a panther, say it's a black panther, also called a what? Leopard, right? Now, doesn't one of the prophets ask, can a leopard change its spots? Yes, right. It's also a black panther. Yes. Because is in the gene of the panther, right? And another thing you can call the leopard is the panther with yellow and black spots. And there's also something called a snow leopard or panther. Mm-hmm. And it's white with black spots. Ancient Chinese secret, huh? That's called again, right? Either adaptation, right? Because if a leopard is in the snow, right, its genes have to become adaptable to its environment, I know, or it dies. Because, see, a yellow panther in snow looks like piss, for one, and can be easily spotted by prey. Yes. Right. I know. And this is what I'm talking about. You're the same as a panther. Mm-hmm. You not only can be yellow and black, you can be black or white and black in your fur. Mm-hmm. But guess what? You're all panthers. Right? You're all leopards. Right? We're all human too. Right? Even if you're from the angels who sinned, like Satan and Eden. Right? And their offspring, right, as Enoch suggested, the book of, right, which they also tried to borrow that from the Bible, but not the Ethiopian Bible, by the way. That's why I know more about it than you. I read. You read. I study to show myself the truth unto God and not men. And not men. Men don't always want to know the truth. If you don't get that by now. They can't handle the truth. Quoting Jack Nicholson there in the movie Few Good Men, right? You don't want to even touch it, at least you die, huh? So if you tried to have sex with a tree in the middle of the garden, it would probably say what you're doing, right? And stop you, right? And tell you you're not supposed to do that with him or any other man but Adam, right? But the tree of knowledge of good and evil will not only have sex with you, straight and gay, it wants your husband too. Where do you think the idea of an orgy even comes from? The angels who sin with the daughters of men, right? In the form of both, right? That's why they're creating these crazy images that you don't understand, right? But they know what they're doing, right? A lot of this happened before the flood, they say as well. Mm-hmm. And again, they're both lying to you and telling you the truth. Even our ancestors, they lied to about where they were from. Mm-hmm. You can't point to the stars in the terrestrial universe that's 3D and say you come from there if you're in the fourth dimension, right? And there used to be a ladder, remember Jacob's dream, right? Between heaven and earth that was severed by our sin in Eden as well. Mm-hmm. Us and the angels who sailed with us can't see it anymore. Mm-hmm. That's why they're delivered over to chains of darkness, dying with Satan, and going to hell with him, which is his name, hell. I know. In the Hebrew, his name is hell. That's, yes, you're contracting it a little. The true pronunciation is Halel. I know. Though it's spelled with an A instead of an L. Another E, right? I know. It's H-Y-L-L. If you look at in the Hebrew in Isaiah 14, right? I think, right? I know. That's his name. And Cyrus is the king, right, by the way. And there's two warning him about going to hell with him. And not to be boastful and try to usurp his kingdom above the stars of God, right, as Halo did, right? I know. That's Satan's sin, too. He wanted to be greater than God and show us the knowledge of good and evil, right? But that's what the Gnostics mean, right? Some knowledge we don't need, right? Why would God forbid knowledge, right? Because what Satan wanted to show you was how to do each other right and wrong so that you would do each other that way afterwards. And only that way. See, he's also using unconditional love as his cover. See, we all know how to love each other. Even gay people, by the way. But the thing is, you're loving the wrong gender, right? But through Satan's sin, you don't even know who the right gender is. Or the right person you're supposed to marry is, right? You don't know God don't want some men with some men and some women with some women. And some people to stay straight, right? Or even bi, even, right? That's because of the angel's sin, though, right? Because they're an extraterrestrial from heaven who ain't supposed to be here, right? Well, they might have been here before. Like I said, from day 4 to day 6, they could have been here, right? And the other angels were not trying to teach us the knowledge of good and evil until after Satan did, right? Then the third that fell with him, right, before the flood, right, it's a timeline there, right, sinned until the flood, right? Now, that don't mean that their genes, because there were still giants afterwards, didn't pass on even through the children of Noah and hit their wives, right? See, 4 and 4 is 8, right? But to God, they're one couple. Right. But like Solomon, some men, like Wilt Chamberlain, slept with 10,000 women, I heard, right? Some men prefer men. Some women prefer women, right? Some women are still straight but have problems with their husband at home or their boyfriend at home or their fiance at home, right? And he won't treat her right. He's keeping her more a prisoner than letting her be her true self, right? And won't let her go out without his acknowledgement. Those are men like in the movie Sleeping with the Enemy, right? They're control freaks, neat freaks, and are bad men. And they're worse than a freak because they also stalk women, right? Poor girl has to get his permission to do anything, right? That's because he thinks, because the priests say obey, she has to obey him, but he ain't got to obey Jesus, right? See, there's a reason there's a Godhead, right? Jesus obeys God. Understand? We obey Jesus, and then the wife obeys the husband, right? And then you're all obeying God, right? But not because your husband is the image of God. You both are. You both are from Christ's image, right? But men have, with Constantine's permission, and the Orthodox in the church, changed the church, right? And your core beliefs, right? See, Jesus was Gnostic too, right? Not Orthodox too, right? Or he wouldn't have met the woman at the well. He wouldn't have went to the daughter and knew she wasn't dead, right? And whatever he did, Elijah did too. Oh no. Now, Moses never raised anybody from the dead. No, he didn't. But Elijah did, right? Elisha too, right? He even cured a man of leprosy, as did Jesus. He healed 10 at one time, right? Now, leprosy, you know you're healed of leprosy. Because you got scabs and sores all over you as if you've been shot with a machine gun. Right? But Jesus was even stabbed with a Roman lance. Look, scientists, right? If that don't kill you, nothing will. Anyway. If you're faking your death after that, you can't die. You can't die. Another thing about the Messiah is he's immortal. You can't kill him. You can't burn him, Peter. But the women touched him even if you didn't. Thomas touched him even if you didn't. And why wouldn't you touch him? Though he seemed to be dealing with you too, right? After. Didn't he show you the scriptures concerning him? Right. And Jephthah's daughter who was offered up as a burnt sacrifice to Yahuwah? Though she should have been like Isaac, right? But they don't know what happened to her. All they know is her father did with her according to his vow, which was to offer up as a burnt offering, right? Though the angel ascended to God, back to heaven, on the sacrifices of Zeph's parents, right? The burnt offering offered there. Now, he said something strange to Mary Magdalene, which is why you don't get it, right? The thing is, right, he talks about ascending to his Father, and again ascending. He also says, touch me not yet, right? So you put the yet, right? By the way, if you wrote it like in the King James, it kind of sounds, you can't touch me at all, baby. No. Because Matthew records a later version of the women going to the tomb, and Mary went before dawn, right? It was still dark, right? Mary and another Mary, who's the mother of James and Josie Catholics, right? And James or Josie are mentioned as brothers of Jesus, right? Right. She's a woman too, I guess, or a hermaphrodite. Yeah. I know. But if she had children with Joseph, that would prevent her from having any more children herself, right? If a hermaphrodite, right? So her deeds would still be passed on, by the way. So again, I'm trying to explain something to you that always confused the church. The virgin birth of Jesus. And there's two ways it can happen, right? In the flesh, if Mary was a true hermaphrodite herself, or Jesus is really the incarnation of the angel of the Lord, Yahuwah, who led Israel from the beginning of things, right, with the fall, to he came in the flesh, right, born of a woman who was still an Alma, not a Yolda, who had not been with a man, right, using his child Gabriel to tell you. Gabor El is another name for God, right? And his angels, right? Now, all Gabor El means is strength of Almighty, right? Mikael means who is as God, right? That's still Jesus. And the angels who won't sin with Satan, right? And we got 2/3 still in heaven, Christians, right? And a third sin with Satan until the day of the flood. Now that's why we're still dealing with Nephilim a little. But still, I mean, one of the daughters could have had the gene or more than one, right? All three, you don't know. Even though his wife could have had the gene, right? Or Noah himself was thought of, right? As being an albino, right? And like I said, read the Bible. It's all in there. But men confuse the Bible. They don't want to read it. Right? Okay.